Hi everyone, so here we are with the Amazon Fire Phone. This is Amazon's new hardware device. They have finally entered the phone market, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this, well, catches fire with the general public. Yes, bad pun time. Now overall, I really like the design of this device. It's quite beautiful to look at. It has a kind of almost iPhone-esque feel to it, but skewing slightly into the Nexus kind of look and feel, kind of if you were going to take an iPhone and an Android device and smush them together. They've added their own hardware buttons, but it kind of eschews the usual Android front-facing soft button controls, and everything's physical controlled here. They've got dual stereo speakers on the bottom of the device and a 4.7-inch IPS LCD display, which reminds me a lot of the HTC One M7. Now from an industrial design point of view, this is a really nice looking device. It's difficult to kind of pick anything that you kind of look at and go, that's a little bit ugly. Obviously when you're designing any smartphone, you're going to be limited on where you can put various things like your speakers without then making the device potentially bigger, longer, fatter or heavier. So really a nice trade-off here, I think. Not really breaking the mold too much, but delivering something that looks good and you're not going to mind taking out of your pocket to show your friends. They've gone with a quad-core 2.2 GHz processor and the Adreno 330 graphics GPU, backed up with 2 GB of RAM. I mean, this is pretty standard stuff. No word on exactly which processor is in here, but I'd expect it to be a Qualcomm Snapdragon 800 or 801 series CPU. Now, brilliantly here, they've gone with a 13 megapixel camera with optical image stabilization. As you know, I have rounded on the camera manufacturers this year for not putting in the optical image stabilization into their camera modules and then selling them out to people like Samsung, iPhone, HTC. There's either been a major supply constraint going on or something else, but ultimately the guys making those camera modules are simply selling, well, rubbish camera modules to the main manufacturers. Without optical image stabilization, you get a poorer picture. As Amazon have kind of demonstrated, their camera is producing much better low light pictures with less blur. The dual stereo speaker setup, as I've already touched on, it's pretty much the muchness as you might expect, but what's interesting is they've gone with their own headbud designs in the box. A tangle-free cable. We'll have to see what the sound quality's like, but hey, anything that helps to innovate on the quality of the earbuds you actually get in the box so they might be useful rather than just being something you throw away has to be a valuable move forward. Now, Amazon's put a lot of focus really here on how it integrates this device with, well, its entire shopping experience and I suppose knowledge acquisition as well on behalf of the user. So the idea here is that you can use the camera to scan a massive range of products, millions of them by the looks of it. As you scan those products, they're added into your list and you can then browse more information about that product, or if you want to, purchase the product from Amazon, obviously. Now it works with a wide range of different product types, so everything from, household goods to books, and it can even pull information directly from posters and flyers as well. But the real standout feature for the Amazon Fire is this depth perception camera system they've got going on here. Now this is kind of the third way you can do 3D effects. You can do a parallax barrier on a set of glasses, you can do a parallax barrier on an actual device like the 3DS, or you can use 2 stereo cameras with infrared built into them, measure the distance between the person and the actual device as they're holding it, so you know how far away the phone is effectively from the face. And using that information, you can create an extrusion effectively backwards into the device, giving you a depth plane. Now this effectively allows for, as you're going to see in a moment, a feeling of depth, something we've not really had on a smartphone before. We've seen these techniques done in kind of demo videos, in hack-togethers, but this is the first time I think we've ever really seen it in a commercially viable product. Now, Amazon are kind of taking this one step further forward by using the various accelerometers and gyroscopes within the device, they're also able to add in things like smart tilts, something we've seen on the Galaxy range previously. Now this basically allows you to tilt the device forward, back, left or right and scroll on the screen. So for instance, if you're looking at a web page, you can scroll the web page up and down. But they've extended this, they've taken it and put it into their SDK as well. So game developers can create a new dimension on their games, as you can see there. By tilting the device, the game's plane changes as well. Now it's a cute little feature for sure, but it's one that's bound to cause quite a bit of disruption in the market, especially if other companies are prepared to take this technology on from an SDK point of view and build it into their apps. Amazon has a unique selling point here, something that no other manufacturer is able to do right now. Now yes, we've got Duo Cam on the HTC One M8, but as I pointed out when that launched, it wasn't actually required. You don't need a second camera to take the original picture. What you need to do is use software algorithms to take a flat image and add that depth extrusion to it effectively. Now as you can see here, Amazon are using 4 cameras, although only 2 are really used at any one time, depending on the orientation of the device. And this is because, as you know, when you're turning your device around, you're likely to cover at least one of the cameras at any one time. By doing it this way, they've always got 2 cameras able to point at your face. They also aren't using a rolling shutter style of system here to take the images. That would basically mean that you're dropping like a digital shutter effectively over the top of the image each time. What they're doing is using global. Now that basically means it's just constantly taking in information. There's no kind of 30 frames a second thing going here, where effectively you are losing some frames every other frame or anything like that. You're getting all of that information and the camera's then able to make use of it. You can see here a kind of technical test of how this kind of works, how it tracks the camera. The Amazon Fire is certainly looking like a top quality device, packed with amazing features. Obviously I want to see Android 4.4 actually running on there rather than 4.22, so we have full access to things like low powered Bluetooth for things like Fitbit. At the moment, the Amazon Fire is a little bit stunted for some of the more technical aspects of smartphone use we might want to do, but the addition of that depth perception camera system and the other image recognition technology make this a really standout phone for this year. It's going to be very interesting to see what the first hands-on reviews really able to tell us about this device, but from what Amazon are offering us, there's something here I think quite a lot of people are going to be very interested in. Let us know what you think in the comments, and do please like and subscribe as well. There's new uploads every single day.